is such a joy to greet you here today, this 10th anniversary of God building his house and allowing us to move into it, where he lives and he dwells. There is a word in verse 16. And said unto them that sold doves. And this is in the red, which means Jesus said it. Take these things hence, make not my Father's house a house of merchandise. Make not my Father's house a house of merchandise. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, oh neighbor, God don't want no dirty house. Oh, look at your neighbor on the other side. Neighbor, oh neighbor, God don't want no dirty house. After Jesus performed his first miracle at the wedding in Cana, and I say this to those who are so holy that they say we have no business going to social events. Jesus went to a wedding and kept it from being a disaster. He saved the day and changed water into wine. After he did that, he traveled with his disciples to Capernaum, which is about 15 miles away. And after spending a few days there, Jesus went south to Jerusalem for the Passover, about 80 miles away. And this morning, for a moment, we go see a side of Jesus that we don't usually see. We think of the meek and lowly Jesus. And we rarely think of the Jesus who was consumed with passion over the desecration of the name of his heavenly Father. Passover, you pick it up in verse 13, was the most important of the three great religious feasts. By the time of Christ, it had become a major spring festival. And to prepare for Passover, they would repair the roads for the great influx of people and whitewash the tombs so nobody would accidentally touch them and defile themselves. Homes would be cleaned, cooking utensils washed, and the house was searched to make sure that everything was done and decent and in order. Those living in Jerusalem were expected to put up guests, so they thoroughly cleaned their houses. People in Jerusalem usually dressed up in their designer clothes as if they were getting ready for a journey. It's Passover. It was a time when the Jews celebrated their deliverance from bondage in Egypt, and Jews from all over would come to the temple in Jerusalem to present their offerings of a sheep, ox, or dove. And the animals would be sacrificed in the temple. The fat would be burned. The blood would be offered on the altar. The meat would be taken home and roasted and eaten by the family. It was at this time that they could pay the temple tax of a silver, half a shekel coin. Passover was a special time of worship, both in the temple and in the family. Families would observe the Passover meal, which 3 years later Jesus would eat with his disciples just before his crucifixion. Jerusalem, walk with me, bustling with activity and excitement. Passover had the fervor and excitement of a Mardi Gras of its day. You know, it don't take much for us to take any little thing and make something big out of it. All you got to do is say pottage.